Hi, I am so excited to work with these three very talented young ladies, especially since I find that if you're going for music theater, sometimes you focus so much on the singing and the dancing that you kind of skip over the acting, and I'll be completely honest, that's what I did. So I'm grateful to have been able to do a play, and I just want to work with them one-on-one and see what they bring to the table and just focus it so that if they do want to audition for a play, they can, and they're not just limited to musicals. And it'll just make them a better all-around performer. So we're gonna play some Zip Zap Zop to get it started. Alright, so just take your arms up, stretch up and down, and just let everything hang loose. Shake your hips back and forth. What I learned was that you hold a lot of tension in your hips and you don't even really know it. And then bend your knees and roll up slowly. Now, do you guys know the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips? So it's very easy. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. So we're going to say that 3 times in a row. Then we're going to add things to it so that we just get your mouth warmed up, okay? And the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Got it? Okay, now we're going to do it a little bit faster. 5, 6, 7. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Awesome. Now we're going to jog in place. Ready? And the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Awesome. Okay. Now, zip, zap, zop. The objective, you know, you've got the energy and you shoot it to someone, zip, they say zap, zop, or wherever it goes. And you have to make eye contact with the person. So let's get a little bit closer, and I'm going to start. Zip, zap, zip, zop. So zip, zap, zop. So if you just, it's I-A-O. So remember, zip, zap, zop, all right? Start. Zip, zap, zop, zip, zap. Now the goal of this is to just, you know, when you're on stage with each other, you really have to pay attention, and it's very easy to kind of float off and think about what's my next line and what am I going to eat for lunch. So this just really gets you in touch with who you're working with. So now when we do it, if you miss a turn, you're going to step out, and then we're going to close in the circle. We used to have contests in stick fly, and I think it was Condola that was the champion, and it got really heated. So, okay. Zip, zap, zop, zip, zap, zip, up, step out, zop, zip, zap, zop, zip, zap, zop, zip, zap, zop, zip, zap, zop, zip, zop, zap, zip. I'm from the suburbs, and I get scripts to be ghetto woman #2. So I'm like, all right, well, no one's going to believe I'm from Bed-Stuy. So I have to find that honest place in me to play that character, you know? Or like being in Little Mermaid. Okay, well, I'm not a fish. How can I relate to this character? What is speaking to me about this character? What do I identify with? And what am I fighting for? The minute you stop fighting in a scene, it just goes flat. So just keep that energy going. Do your homework, read plays, choose the pieces that speak to you. Questions, what's happening in the scene? Who am I talking to? What am I fighting for? And what's getting in my way? Think about child stars. When they want to get out of the business, it's really hard sometimes because if you think about it, they're making all the money for their family. You know, their family, they've become the breadwinner, and it's really difficult for them to say, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to go to college. That's a huge deal. So use that intensity. Intensity doesn't always mean anger, okay? But, yeah, I'm going to turn around, and I need you to get my attention, okay?
The thing about being famous is that
Pause. Did you think about your moment before? You got it? Take your moment before. When you come into an audition, You'll come and they'll be like, hi, how are you? What are you doing for us? My name is Zakiya Young, and I'm going to do a piece from blah, 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 blah. And I'd always turn around, and I'd have to, because you're switching from one zone to the other. You know, it's like, hi, I'm nice, you really want to work with me because I'm professional. Excuse me, I'm going to transform into a crazy person. You know, you don't say all that, but you have to take your moment and get your bearings, because not everybody's going to be very nice when you go into the casting room, because sometimes they've been there all day, sometimes they're tired and they're hungry and you're the last one before lunch. Please be good. Please be good. So even if you feel something negative behind the table, which hopefully you won't, just take that moment to ground yourself, get in your head why you're speaking, where you are, and what your objective is, and then go. Don't start until you're ready, okay? All right.
The thing about being famous is that you get to have everything you want. You get to be in control. You get to tell people to do things the way you want them to be done. I don't like those flowers in the living room. Poof, they're gone. I want shrimp for dinner, not chicken. Poof, you have shrimp. I don't like my room anymore, my house, my yard. Poof, poof, poof. It's interesting when you think about it. Because the only reason you're famous is because other people make you famous. The thing I want to know is, how do you get other people to do that? How do you get them to decide you're famous and somebody else isn't? I mean, is it like earning points or something? And once you have enough of them, somebody says, hey, she just earned enough points to move up from being pretty well known to being famous. Let's take her picture and put her on the front of a magazine. And what happens if you decide you don't want to be famous anymore? Like, say you want to go out for some chicken fingers and soda, but you can't because you're famous. Everyone's just going to stare at you. Or you want to shop at your favorite store at the mall, but you can't because everyone's just going to watch you change. Do you just get to decide you're tired of being famous and you want to go back to being yourself again? I mean, it's not like you can send an announcement to the papers and the magazines and say, hey, sorry, but I, Lisa Linders, do not want to be famous anymore. Or everybody just leave me alone, okay? Because if you did that, you'd probably wind up making yourself even more famous than you were before. And things would just get worse. I mean, people would be saying, look, there goes the famous girl who decided she didn't want to be famous anymore. Let's go get her autograph. You'd be trapped.
Yes.
Me? Me, I'm nothing. Me, when I was young, used to take our sleds out in the wintertime. And the only hills we had were the ice-covered stone steps between the houses down the road. We used to fill them with snow to make them all smooth, so we could ride down them all day. It was very dangerous, you know. Far too steep.
Take your moment. Remember what you're fighting for, and remember that you love your mother. And you're enough. So you're angry at her. If you're blaming her,
Okay, I think it's so, yeah.
use that. Don't be afraid of anger. Don't be afraid of getting up and using your space, because that anger is going to drive this scene.
Me? Me? Me, I am nothing.
What do you mean?
Me, when I was young, we used to take our sleds out in the wintertime. And the only hills we had were the ice-covered stone steps to some of the houses down the road.
Well, that wasn't that bad. I mean, you at least got to go out and play.
We used to fill them in with snow to make them all smooth so we could ride down them all day.
Did you have fun?
It was very dangerous. Far too steep.
Yes. You see what you did there? All right. Do it again from the top. Remember, when you go home, I want you to study it again and take note of the punctuation, because sometimes, depending on how the play is written, you learn it in phrases, and you start doing it in phrases instead of complete thoughts. You see what I'm saying? So,
Me, I'm nothing. Me, when I was young, we used to take our sleds out in the wintertime. And the only hills we had were the ice-covered stone steps of some of the houses down the road. And we used to fill them up with snow and make them all smooth so we could ride down them all day. It was very dangerous, far too steep. And sure enough, one of these days, a kid named Rufus was just going down way too fast. And he hit the sidewalk. And I remember looking at his bloody open face and thinking that was the end of Rufus. And the ambulance came and they took him up to the hospital. And the next time I saw Rufus, he had just a little line down the middle of his face. I never got over that.
Yes. Did you feel the difference? That was like night and day. I'm so proud of you. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Why? You think I can't have healthy babies, Mama? Well, I can. I'm as strong as an ox. I've worked in that store and taken care of you since I was 12 years old. That's how strong I am. Like steel. Isn't that what we're supposed to be? Except my babies won't die because I love them and take care of them. My babies will be happy because I will teach them to be happy. Not to grow up and run away or never visit when they're older. And not to be so frightened that they couldn't even breathe. And never, ever to make them spend their lives rubbing my back and my legs. Because you never had anyone who loved you enough to want to touch you. And I promise you, you would never have to worry about being alone, because you'll have us.
Do it one more time. Really bring me that nasty again. When you were like, you know, there's a line about that.
Steal.
Yeah, I won't have to. Yeah, my babies will be happy because I will teach them. Like, that's a dig. If I said that to my mom, I'd be picking my jaw up off the floor, okay? And there was one more thing I wanted to tell you. Okay, pretend, let's say you have 2 years to live. Just long enough to have a baby and enjoy it for a little bit. But you know that your disease is terminal. Give it weight. Like, why does she, you know, before I die, why would she say that if she's a healthy person? Like, you know, that's just, I know that's an exaggeration, but sometimes we have to use very dramatic examples to get us where we need to be. Like, I had this song that I was having a hard time with. I literally pictured singing it to my dad and then my sister, and they're on life support. Dramatic. They're not on life support, thank God. But, you know, it helped me focus. I was picturing singing that, oh, what was it? I wish I could remember the song, but just having an example that personal really helped me feel what I needed to feel. Try it again.
Why? You think that I can't have healthy babies, Mama? Well, I can. I'm as strong as an ox. I've worked in that store and taken care of you since I was 12 years old. That's how strong I am. Like steel, Mama. Isn't that how we're supposed to be? Only my babies won't die because I'll love them and take care of them. My babies will be happy because I will teach them to be happy. Not to grow up and run away or never visit when they're older. And not to be so frightened that they couldn't even breathe. And never, ever to make them spend the rest of their lives rubbing my back and my legs because you never had anyone who loved you enough to want to touch you. Do you know what it's like to touch steel, Mama? It's hard. And it's cold. And I want to be warm and soft with my children. Please let me have my babies, Mama, because I gotta love somebody. I gotta love somebody who will love me back before I die. And I promise you, you'll never have to worry about being alone, because you'll have us.
Well done, guys. That was really, really great. And I applaud you. You guys are so talented, so incredibly talented. And I'm just so proud of the work you've done. I mean, gosh, I'm emotionally exhausted watching you. Wow, I'm completely blown away. I mean, these girls, not only are they talented, they're energetic and enthusiastic, and they're willing to take direction and learn. And as we went through the exercises, it was so cool because I was feeling them become more confident, and there were times when I would get chills, and another time I was almost crying, and you know, their futures are so bright, and I'm so glad that I got the chance to work with them because, gosh, I wish I had something like this when I was in high school. But thank you, Broadway Spotted, for doing this, and thank you to the families of these girls for encouraging them with their dreams. And I'm just so proud to have worked with them.